Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we'll continue our discussion on cascading style sheet. We'll talk about positioning. We have three positions, values, fixed, absolute, and relative. We'll be talking about web page elements, and then we will see how we can control the stacking order of these web page elements. Now, CSS position property. So position is one of the property. It has three values, fixed, absolute, and relative. We'll talk about that. In addition to the position, we do have some additional properties that will help you to set the new coordinates of the element. So we have top, bottom, right, and left, and then we have Z index. So we will try all these properties inshallah today. Now the web page element, remember this body is the page, and then this body has some elements. So if you see, the div element contains header, article, aside, and footer. So div is a parent element to all of these child elements. So header is a child of div that has a class container, and similarly article is also the child of div that is class container, and aside and footer as well. So we will see now. So let's see how we can apply the position fixed with some additional properties. So this is my page. Let's go to the page now. So this is my page. I want to scroll down, but it is not possible. So what I'm going to do is, and this is the same style sheet we worked before in our last example. This is the same page. It has a body, and then we have a parent, and this parent has header child, article child, aside, and footer. These are all child to the div class container. Now let me go, and I can say that this class container has a height of 2000 pixels, so that now if I just go and refresh, so you see I got a scroll bar now, so I can go down. So my container is now big enough. How big enough is that? Let's go and see visually. So I can say, okay, 3, 4, 5 pixels, solid and black. So if I just refresh, now you can see that I got a black box going up to the bottom. So my container is like 2000 pixels, so it is such a long way. Now I want to push down this container a little bit down. So what I'm going to say is just a simple thing. Margin is like 6 em maybe. So 6 em from every side. There you go. So this is top is now vacant. So my containers start from the 6 em position, from the top, from the left, from the right, and then this is my container now. Now you can see that. You see here, from all sides I have 6 em. Now what I'm going to work on is the header. So let's go and see the header. And what I'm going to do is I will say, okay, let me see. The header is having a background. As you know, that background is already green, so I don't have to do it again because this is done somewhere before for the heading 1. You see that? But anyway, I can give my header a background, because that green is given to the h1, not to the header. So I'm going to make it dark green here, and then the position is fixed. So we'll practice the fixed position, and top is from the top, it is 0 pixel away. From the left, again it is 0 pixel away, and that's it. So let's see if we can work with that. Oh, if you see here, so I said fixed and top is 0, left is 0, so it left the position and it goes to the page. Now if I scroll down, it is stick to the page, it is not moving up. Okay, it is not moving up, it is staying there. So this is the property of the fixed. Now if you see here, everything is going underneath. You see that? Whether it's the article or it is the aside or it is the footer, so it is going underneath. So this is on the top. So how can we make this go behind, and this article or aside or footer, they can be on the top? How we can do that? So let's go and see what we have in this case. We do have a Z index property. Let's talk about the Z index property. Z index property helps you in controlling the stacking order. Which element will come on the top, which element will come on the background. That is what Z index property will help you. So it has three values. 0 means on the top, -1 is little bit behind, and -2 is extremely behind. So let's go and say, and by default Z index is 0. If you see here, we did not specify the Z index, still it is 0. That is why it is on the top of everyone. So if I make the Z index 0, you will see it will have no impact on any element. It is on the, now if I say I want to make it -1, and if I refresh the page, you see that everything is going on the top, because everything is by default Z index is 0, okay, whether we are using or not, and this is -1, so this is behind everything now. Okay, now I want to fix this aside, okay, and I don't want to fix this one, or maybe we can keep this one fixed as well, and we're going to keep this one also fixed. So what I'm going to say, aside position fixed, is that okay? And Z index 0. Okay, let's refresh it, and now you can see that this is fixed, and Z index is 0 by default, so it is on the top. Now if I say Z index -1, Z index -1, now what will happen? It will go behind and the footer will come on the top, and also this one article is also on the top. You see that? Because it is on the behind now. So this is how we can work with the position property as well as the Z index property to control the stacking order of the elements. Now so we have a footer, so let's try the footer as well. Footer, and the position is fixed, for example, and then Z index is -2. Okay, why should we make fixed? Why not make it relative? You know, with the relative, whenever you want to work with the Z index, you must specify the position, and position, if your position is relative, then it will not break the flow of the document. So the Z index and the position relative will keep it within the flow. So let's go and see, and now you can see that it is with the flow, it's not fixed, and it is -2, so it will go behind the -1. And what is -1? Aside is -1. You see that? And for sure it will go behind the 0 as well. So that is how we can. Now if I make the position relative for this aside, okay, relative, now you will see that this will also move with the, and position is -1, and the header is also -1, so they are all same, so this one is going above. So if I just make the position 0 for the header, now header will be on the top and everything else will be on the bottom. You see here, everything in the bottom. So this was the position properties. Now let's see what we have next. Okay, now what we can do is we can make the header property absolute. Instead of fixed, we say absolute. And we have a position top is 0 and left is 0 and the Z index is also 0, means on the top. So let's go and see. And now if you see here, what we are having is we are having position absolute. Let's see what impact it will make on our page. No impact on the page, but one thing is there, it is moving now. Before it was fixed, it was stick to the page. Now it is moving up and down with the page flow. What if I want that this heading should be the part of this one, of this container? So what I'm gonna say is I have to make sure that my position in container is relative. Now this child will look for the parent. If there is any position available relative, it will stick to this parent now. So let's go and see. Otherwise it will stick to the page as it is doing now. So let's have a relative in the container and we will see the impact of this absolute position of the header with respect to the container. And you see that now it comes inside the container, but it is going on the top of that. So what I can do is I can just make it relative, and if you go now, you can see that everything is on the top within the container and we are using relative, blah blah blah, and everything is back again. So today we learn how to set the position, relative, fixed, and absolute, and we also learn how it will impact if the parent has a position relative. That's it. And we have already seen that, okay, if the parents is relative and child is relative, they will remain within the flow of the document. So that's it for today. This is the homework which you can do by yourself and try to practice as much as you can. So kafara majlis, subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.